Hello everyone, my name is Eric Hughes. I'm the social media coordinator for Theater 3 in Port Jefferson, where we are so excited to be reopening our doors this summer. We're going to be opening up our main stage with the Fantastics. Our children's theater stage is going to be reopening with The Adventures of Peter Rabbit. And kicking off the summer, we have the 15th annual Long Island Comedy Festival, and I am honored to be joined today by Mr. Paul Anthony, the founder and host of the Long Island Comedy Festival. Paul, how are you doing today?
Eric Hughes, I am doing great. Thank you so much for having me on your show. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much for being here. We're so excited to have you here. So I just want to get right on into the questions, if that's all right with you. So we'll start with question number one. How did the Long Island Comedy Festival come to be?
Well, as a comedian, I was traveling around a lot and realized that every major city and parts of the country seemed to have a comedy festival. There was a comedy festival in LA on the West Coast, a comedy festival obviously in New York City, the Boston Comedy Festival, which is now world famous. Even across the pond in the UK, there were comedy festivals. And I did some research and said, what would it take to launch our own comedy festival here on Long Island? And I spoke to a number of comedians, and they were all excited about the idea. So I put it together. And that was 15 years ago, believe it or not. So
amazing. Yeah, seriously.
And Theater 3, the birthplace of the Long Island Comedy Festival.
Awesome. We're so
I don't
happy.
think Theater 3 gets enough credit, but they are the birthplace.
Well, we're happy to be representing you guys. Absolutely.
Yeah, very excited.
So getting on to question 2 here, what are some of your favorite parts of the Long Island Comedy Festival?
I mean, I love all aspects of it, but I mean, I would have to say that my favorite parts are of course, the comedians getting to work with all these different amazing comic talents from all over the globe, mostly obviously from the U.S., but and then of course the audiences. I mean, we get a tremendous amount of feedback from audience members, usually right after a performance, where we a lot of times we'll do a meet and greet right outside the theater.
Oh, nice.
And we'll hang out in Port Jeff. We'll hang out right there on Main Street and just meet and greet people and just thank them for coming. And the response is always the same. We've had an incredible time. We come all the time. We've been to so many shows. We've never laughed like this before. And there's nothing more gratifying than that, than to make people feel good.
Absolutely.
About themselves.
Absolutely. The positive reinforcement is always nice. And, to have that same group of people to always come back and remember what you guys have done, what you did new this year, that's got to be such a good feeling.
It is a good feeling. So we're very appreciative. I'm confident that it's going to be killer.
I'm also confident. I have a feeling a lot of people are, ready to start laughing again,
I think so too.
That actually, speaking about all the new comedians, old comedians that are going to be coming to the stage, that actually segues nicely into our next question. How many different comedians or actors have you worked with during the Long Island Comedy Festival, over the years? And do you have any memorable moments or any memorable stories you'd want to tell or anything like that involving different comedians or your time on stage?
Sure. First of all, I don't know how many, but it's probably now in the hundreds without exaggerating.
Wow.
Because we've been, like I said, operating for 15 years, and our program has, our program offerings have expanded. So we started with the Long Island Comedy Festival, which generally runs July and August each summer. But then we expanded into doing New Year's Eve shows. We have shows that we appear at Theater 3 and other venues across Long Island throughout the year. So because we're now doing shows 12 months a year and different venues, it's grown a lot. So our lineups have changed and expanded. So we've worked with comedians from the UK, Ireland, but like I said before, mostly from the US, but probably now a couple of hundred comedians. We track everything, so I never actually took the time to figure that out, but certainly a couple of hundred. And in terms of memorable moments, first of all, for those people out there that don't know, pretty much every theater that's been around for a long time is haunted. Okay, you can speak to people that work in the theater; they will all confirm that it is pretty much documented that at some point someone haunted the theater. It could be, a lot of times it's former actors or performers. And
absolutely,
we were doing a show. This is going back a couple of years ago, probably 10 years ago. We were doing a show at Theater 3, and comedian, national headliner Richie Byrne was the closing act. He's on the stage, and he's on. Theater 3 has a pretty pronounced big stage, especially when the comedy festival is performing. Unless they have a set, a lot of times the stage is completely empty, and you realize how big it is. There's nothing else on the stage except maybe the mic stand and a stool, and the comedian. And Richie Byrne is out there by himself in the middle of the stage. There's nowhere, this is before coronavirus. People are 30 feet away from him, and he felt something. And he turns around thinking, one of the comedians from the green room ran back and pushed him. And he's out there by himself.
Oh my gosh.
And it was absolutely bizarre. Someone shoved him.
That's so
crazy. And he talks about it to this day.
And finally, on to my last question here. So, obviously the past year has been crazy, like so many things, especially in the performing world, have changed, and a lot of acts, comedy, live acting, everything like that has had to adapt to like screen, anything like that, like over the computer, over Zoom. So what does it feel like to you knowing that you guys are going to be back in front of a live audience again for since the first time since everything started, I believe?
We are just really excited, and besides ourselves, I mean, all the comedians that I talk to, I keep in touch with as many of them as I can all the time. We're just really ecstatic. We're cautiously optimistic, like I said, in terms of making sure that we can follow the protocols and what have you, and that the audiences will actually show up and have a good time. But we're really excited, and I just think that it's a matter of time. It's like time heals all wounds.
Absolutely.
I really think that it's just a matter of us getting through this period of time and readjusting and getting back to whatever the new normal is. But yeah, there's nothing like live performance. The comedians are out there now. A lot of them are working at comedy club venues and working on their acts and getting back up to speed,
right,
so that when the comedy festival arrives in July, they'll be ready, raring to go.
Exactly. So, everyone's going to have a little bit of rust, everything like that. But, once they're in front of that audience, once they get that that gratification, and, it's going to be like no one ever missed a beat,
That's correct. We'll fall right into place. Yep.
Well, Paul, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you had a good time here in the interview session. Thank you so much. And once again, kicking off our summer season is going to be the Long Island Comedy Festival. Make sure you guys go get your tickets today. I've been Eric Hughes, social media coordinator, and we'll see you next time.